I'd like to speak to the C-23 Sherpa, and I think General Ingram, this is addressed to you here. Last year, the Army proposed the divestiture, arguing that the intra-theater lift could be provided by the Air Force using other assets. That didn't particularly set well with the Congress, and the divestiture was barred for FY13. And during the past fiscal year, we've seen a number of the Adjutant Generals complain that the Sherpas were being moved out of their state for engine replacement, which they interpreted to mean marshaling for the planes for divestiture. We're hearing rumors that the planes will once again be taken away from the states and marshaled before the end of the fiscal year in the hopes that Congress won't stand in the way of the divestiture. In Alaska, as you may know, these aircraft are amazing workhorses, just amazing what they can do. They can take you into places in Alaska that no other aircraft can. So the question to you, General, is whether or not you can give the assurance that the Adjutant General will have the full use of the Sherpa in this fiscal year.
Senator, thank you for the question. I'm very familiar with the Sherpa and the work that the Sherpas do across the United States, especially in Alaska with the unique geography that you have in your state. With the divestiture plan really in abeyance at the moment, the Army National Guard is working with the Army to synchronize the details for the way ahead for the remaining C-23 fleet. We've already moved, last year 8 have been moved into warm storage. The Army National Guard believes that the Army intends to fully support the language in Public Law 113.6 and not divest the C-23 aircraft with this year's appropriated funds. However, the Army is considering the option of placing all the C-23s in semi-flyable storage by the end of this FY. The details of the way ahead for the C-23 should be released by the Army very soon. So we're working with the Army and waiting for their decision on the fate of the C-23s at the moment.
So if we're provided a mechanism for the states to take title to the Sherpas if the Army divests, but then the states are left in a position where they've got to figure out how they deal with the operation and maintenance, could the Guard continue to provide personnel and maintenance funding to support the missions?
Senator, that would be very difficult. That's the point of the divestiture, is the operation and maintenance cost of the aircraft. And currently, in the program, in the POM, there's no provision for operation and maintenance of the C-23 fleet.
So that's not there.
And in fact, the force structure that goes with it, the positions for the pilots and maintainers of those aircraft are being written out of the system.
Well, then let me ask just one final here. I've heard that the Army National Guard was given the choice of either more Lakota helicopters or retaining the Sherpa. Apparently they chose the Lakota. I don't know whether that is accurate or not, but Alaska's Adjutant General has made a very solid case for bringing the Lakota to Alaska. That's been resisted. As you very well know, we have a very aviation-intensive state. Our Guard units, both Army and Air, do some pretty extraordinary things with the assets that they've been provided. But we're in a situation where we're told you're going to retire the Sherpa, and then you say that we can't have the Lakota. So it puts us in an incredibly difficult spot to provide for any of the mission that is required in a state where you don't have the roads to travel. You need the aircraft. The aircraft that works is a Sherpa. Sherpas are being retired. Our other alternative is the Lakota, and we're being told you're probably not going to see that. I mean, it seems to me it's a pretty inequitable situation, and I'm not quite sure what we do.
Senator, I'll have to get back with you on the fielding of the Lakota to Alaska. I'm not familiar with the fielding plan on that particular aircraft to the state of Alaska, and I'll look into that and be back with you.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.